602.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm Big Al. That's Professor. As always. And joining us is Prince Piranha, although he's on mute. And the reason why is he has got technical difficulties on his end. We'll introduce him in a minute. The only thing I can suggest to Mr. Piranha is to go back out and go back in again and until you get that good, So at the moment, I'm going to take him off the stage just for a moment, and hopefully he can get these things sorted out. He said, Keith, his phone was having problems.
That's hot as hell out there.
It is. We have a comment here from our old friend in South Carolina. What's up, Christopher? Thank you for joining us live, as always, my friend. I appreciate the support. Okay. So while we're waiting for Mr. Piranha, let us remind the folks of a few things. Number one, this Saturday, SWO is back in Seven Valleys on July 20th. Doors open at 6, and there's been some matches announced. You can go on the SWO Facebook page to check that out, and you can order tickets on swoprowrestling.org. The professor will be there calling the action, and I will be there as your ring announcer for the night. We're going to have a great night in Seven Valleys at the Seven Valleys Firehouse. Nobody does a show like this.
I certainly hope we will. I mean, we know that masked maniac is still running around. I mean, thankfully, Al, you and I have not been targeted yet. But who knows what this guy is going to do.
I was in the ring when the lights went out, man, and I jumped. Out of the ring, and I heard you yell on commentary, Al, get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, my God, anybody, this monster, we're all potentially targets. We don't know what this guy's motivation is. We don't know what's going on here. I mean, you saw it, fans, you saw it if you watched the last SWO show. The videos are going up on YouTube. I stood with Zach Carlucci. I still stand with Zach Carlucci. Zach Carlucci is our boss. He is our leader. And we're under siege right now. And I believe when you're under siege, you stand with your leader. You don't be the kind of person that gives in to the naysayers, that gives in to the people that try to divide you and try to push you in a different direction. I've worked with Marshall Moore. I certainly have my problems with Marshall Moore, my disagreements with his opinions right now. But we need to stand together as a locker room, and we also need to stand together as a fan base right now. Saturday, we know Kimberly Spirit has control of the investigation, and Saturday we're hoping to get some damn answers. I do too. I hope we get some damn answers Saturday.
I got faith in Kimberly Spirit. All right. So, as we wait for Prince Piranha, Professor, there's been a lot going on in the mainstream in WWE and AEW, but WWE just recently had back-to-back premium live events. They had Money in the Bank last Saturday, and they had followed that up with this past Sunday. They had NXT Heatwave. So your thoughts on either one of those? I know you haven't seen all of Heatwave, but you could talk about Money in the Bank, though.
I can certainly talk about Money in the Bank. I think top to bottom, Money in the Bank was such a good show. I certainly don't agree with the internet that's crying about, and frankly, I think it's crying. I think that's a fair statement of how I feel. of you guys crying about Drew McIntyre getting the briefcase and then the briefcase being used in the same night and Drew loses. Look, guys, it doesn't always need to be a year-long program.
Right.
Sometimes you want to take something like that off the table, because here's the problem with Money in the Bank inherently, right? Theoretically, you should never lose if you have Money in the Bank because of the nature of the briefcase. And if you continue to put it on younger guys, either you have a 100% success rate, or every once in a while you got to put it on somebody you feel good about letting them lose, because you don't want to have anything with a 100% success rate like that. It just doesn't look great. And Piranha is with us now, so I'm going to end the rant there.
You might have to continue it because he's kind of frozen.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's kind of frozen right now. So,
all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you tuning in to talk with or chat with Prince Piranha, as you can see by the frozen screen below the professor and I, he is having all kinds of technical difficulties on his end. Whether it's a phone issue, whether it's an internet issue, I'm not sure. But again, he pops on for like a second or two. You see him move, and then it freezes, and we can't even hear him or anything. So it's not like I could just play the audio or something and take his video away. He did that on his own. I didn't do that. So again, he can hear us because he can hear us talking, because he did that on his own so he's going to keep trying. And at the very least, perhaps we might get him on the phone like we did Chad McCoy before Chad McCoy learned how to use the internet.
And we're very proud of Chad learning how to use it.
Here's a question for you, Professor. Roman Reigns coming back at Survivor Series. What do you guys see? What do you mean SummerSlam? I would think SummerSlam would be more accurate now.
I think if you're doing SummerSlam, you've got to do it as an angle. I think Survivor Series for the first match back makes sense, right? Because then you've got a natural War Games. You've got his bloodline versus the new bloodline. SummerSlam to set it up. Because I don't want Roman in the ring until I can start getting to that War Games, because that writes itself. It really does.
Yeah.
And that too goes back to the rant I was saying about things like Money in the Bank. I really think that we don't need gimmicks like that in the WWE anymore right now. We really don't, because I think those gimmicks are going to handicap the organic storytelling that they've gotten good at of late, right? Because I look at SummerSlam, and I talked about this on Inside the Squared Circle with Wolfman and Adrian Bliss on Wednesday, is Walter is getting his first shot at the WWE Championship. Who's excited about that? How much has really been done? Not the WWE Championship, excuse me, the World Heavyweight Championship. And how much has really been done to build that up at this point? Because we had to get through Priest and Seth, and we're all focused on everything with that. We're not talking about Priest and Gunther. So was it really the bestest idea in the world to continue to have something like King of the Ring, where a guy has a guaranteed title shot 2 months down the line, and we just haven't been building that as organically as we probably should, and creating the buzz on that the way we should? Because I mean, I'm not saying Gunther has to go over or anything like that, but like, Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. They have done a fantastic job of making Gunther look like the star that any of us that had followed Gunther when he was Walter knew he would be, unless, the bookers are smoking crack and just can't understand how to take somebody like that is a can't miss slam dunk talent to a point where you would just be like, oh, you're going to really tell me you can't do anything with that guy? You're fired. You're fired and you're blackballed and you're never.
I think Gunther takes the title from Damian Priest, but I think in a twist, one of, if not some of, the Judgment Day cost Damian Priest the championship.
You could do it, It makes sense. I would like Damien to get that win. And also, too, it's almost feeling like they may wind up turning this into a 4-way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, too, where Gunther's shot is going to get merged into the Punk McIntyre and then Rollins stuff, which I know people want to see. And it's like, yeah, I could see it, because then you have the fuckery that nobody is getting hurt, or, maybe Priest finally gets his exit from the situation where it's like, okay, I won one without the Judgment Day involved.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of go back to letting those 3 guys ultimately be in the title picture. Because that, to me, is what I liked so much about what happened at Money in the Bank, is you gave yourself so many world title options now. Drew has a grievance. Punk's always going to want it, because you should always want to be the champion. You always want to be the top guy on your show. Seth has a grievance, because now Seth can't actually get another world title shot. So you have all these different elements and all these different matchups that you can now do. And that, I think, is what's so good about that coming out.
All right. So for those of you turning, the numbers just jumped. So for those of you who are tuning in to see Prince Piranha, let me please explain that he is having technical difficulties, and I gave him the option of calling in. We've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully if he's watching, he should call in and we could talk to him that way. I gave him my number, my personal number, so he can call in. And Byron has a comment here saying, apparently Zilla Fatu is going to be on Roman Reigns' side in War Games. Sure. I mean, yeah. Okay, so let me give you my scenario here, okay? I think this is what happens at SummerSlam. Because you talked about Damian Priest. I want to talk about Cody. So Cody is wrestling solo. We know this. Okay?
Yeah.
I think Cody retains the championship because the Bloodline have Cody eradicated and in a position where Solo's going to win. Solo should win. And Roman's music hits. He steps out. Solo gets this shock look, and he's standing there with Heyman up at the stage. Cody spins him around, crossroads. He wins the match. All right? That focuses the Bloodline's attention from Cody to Roman. And then that starts to set up the, Zilla might come in, or the Usos might come back, or, all these things might fall into place where you have Roman, Zilla, and the Usos versus Solo and his bunch at Survivor Series, like you said, in a War Games situation.
Because, if you're not doing that in War Games, how? How are you not doing that in War Games? Everything is so set up to do that. And the nice thing about that is, because it's gang warfare, you can have matches on your next couple PLEs. You can have matches on Raw. You can have matches wherever, SmackDown, wherever you need them, to set that up of like, okay, it's this person from the Bloodline versus the Roman Bloodline. You can do so many things. And that's why I say, like, that's what's so good about WWE right now, is there's so many options. And that, I feel like, is good, is what you need to do in a situation like this, or when you're booking in general. You want to give yourself options. You want to give yourself the ability to go in different directions if you need to, see what's clicking, see what's hitting, but ultimately have a game plan, have an idea of where you want to end up.
Right.
And if you don't put Bloodline versus Bloodline as your main male War Game storyline this year, why? Why would you not do that? It writes itself. It really does.
Yeah. And it hasn't gotten boring. Like, you keep... All right, so Piranha's trying to come join us one more time. Let's see if he's backstage right now, but there is no visual of him. If he can hear me, I can see him, but let me see what happens here. if I put him on. Hello.
Yeah, frozen angry face with no audio. That's disturbing. Piranha never does angry face.
Yeah, it's like each time he changes facial expressions, and he's like, I'm done. Oh, man, I'm done. All right, man. Call in, man. Call in, okay? Yeah. We'll have him call in. These things happen, guys. Like we've interviewed over 200 wrestlers in 4 years. Our 4-year anniversary was in June. You know, and we maybe made half a dozen times where this has happened. So it happens.
Yeah,
So just bear with us, and we'll get Prince Piranha and his thoughts on the phone in a moment. Eric, here he is. All right, here he is. So I'm gonna put this banner up here. Where are you there, sir? Hello? I'm sorry, but good God.
The phone's not working.
Now that's not my fault.
Yeah, that's new.
So I'm calling him back. Let's see what happens here, man. I'm sorry, but
He's got to be in an area with just terrible no internet.
I mean, yeah, it's one thing to have bad internet, but if you have bad cell service too, I mean, that's really
that's probably what's killing it.
I mean, wasn't he at Three Legacies last night? I'm sure. I think he teamed up with De Niro.
Yeah.
He teamed up with De Niro last night, didn't he?
Yeah, but who knows where he is now? I mean, he's a busy guy. He's really getting booked a lot of places.
All right, let's see what happens here. Hello. Yes, sir.
Man, I'm done with whatever's going on with that. I don't know. I'm sick about it though.
I can see it.
Professor, can you hear him?
I can hear him.
Okay. As long as you can hear him, then the audience can hear him. Okay. We are live on Around the Turnbuckle, and joining us at this very moment is the one and only Prince Piranha. How are you, sir?
Great. Thanks, everybody, for letting me waste 20 minutes of your life.
We filibustered. It's okay.
Much appreciated. Oh, Lord.
All right, man. So we talked a little bit about Money in the Bank. So before we get started on what's up with you lately, did you watch Money in the Bank? Did you? Okay.
It was a little weird with the CM Punk thing, but if Drew wins, come on. There's no way CM Punk allows him to walk out with the championship. So
Okay.
We all knew that, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, something like that. I mean, there's the fans of CM Punk that loved what happened. There's the fans of McIntyre that didn't like it. There's the fans of the Money in the Bank that hated the waste of the Money in the Bank case. And there was the fans or the people who don't like the Money in the Bank concept who thought, great, we don't have to worry about that for a year. So, I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons for what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whoever was going to win was going to cash it in quick anyway because Damien kept it for damn years. So
right,
we already did that storyline. We don't need it again.
For real.
But with the women, it's cool that you could do it with Tiffany for a little bit.
That match was awesome.
Oh, definitely.
He's coming off very choppy, from what I hear.
Still catching her opportunity at SummerSlam.
He's choppy. Is that what you said, Professor?
Yeah, I'm not getting the whole conversation. Like I feel
it must be my internet then, because I'm hearing every word he says.
Yeah, we're not hearing every word he's saying.
The only thing I could think, of is my microphone. My microphone is up where the camera is. I'm pretty sure. So, because you can hear me, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can't hear Piranha at all?
I can hear him,
hear
but it's
you.
like it's one of those choppy every other word kind of things.
Okay, Piranha, he can hear you.
Well, yeah, because my internet's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll fix it later.
We have the 3-way call.
We could do that, but then it would be a recorded, a voice only podcast on Spotify or something like that. But because I do have that capability. I have a little podcast that I really haven't added to lately called Big Al Boski Raw. But I mean, I haven't.
That sounds. Come on, man. You know how that sounds.
Yeah, I know what it sounds.
That's better. Wherever it is now, that's a lot better.
Okay. So man, what's been happening with you? So you did you or did you not wrestle yesterday?
So I did manage. I did manage.
Manager?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever did that. Pretty different.
And now it's bad again.
I don't know what to do, Professor, other than hook up a microphone and stick it. Because I mean, I don't have the capabilities of Inside a Squared Circle where they could patch a phone call through because they have a television studio where they have that technology there.
What about the local recordings thing that StreamYard has? Does that only work if we tape it in advance?
Yes, that only works if we tape it in advance. So I mean, like I said, I can hear him great. I don't know where my microphone is. I thought it was up top.
I think that's the problem, is he's not in front of wherever your microphone is.
Right. I held it like close to the top.
Speakerphone now?
Yeah, you're on speakerphone. I can hear you great. Okay. But yeah, it might also be for Keith. It might also be that the internet is choppy on my end. But I'm sitting literally right next to my.
Yeah, you're not choppy. So I think the issue is that phone is not near enough to your microphone.
Okay.
And that you're not steady with it.
We can fix that by I could hook up a microphone that we normally use for commentary and have him like right by it. Would that work?
It should. I mean, as long as you have something to hold it steady that we can hear him on the phone into that microphone.
Well, yeah, I'll put it down. Though in that case, I'll put it down. Like I'll put the phone down and put the microphone right by the phone, and then he should be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The only problem is we're going to have about a 2 minute of you can talk and talk about whatever you want to. You could continue your rant about the pros and cons of ladder matches.
That wasn't even a ladder match issue. That was just a Money in the Bank issue.
I know what you could talk about. Talk about Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker.
That's a good match.
All right, I'll be right back, Piranha. All right, I'm leaving you on the phone, but I'm grabbing a mic.
This way people can hear you better, because I'm just thinking if I can't hear you, then probably the audience is getting the same problem. And we don't want the audience to have that, because I've hung out with Piranha quite a bit post SWO shows, and Piranha is a fun guy to hang around with. I love Piranha. He's one of my favorite people. So, I thought Sami Zayn and Braun... Huh?
You over there lying, Keith. I hear you.
Oh, I am not lying. What are you talking about?
Wow.
You don't think you're one of my favorite people, really? You think I'm lying about that?
Try to be cool as I can be. You know that. I'm most of the time. And you know what we're doing next week, right? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be following up off of that insane tag team match, folks. It's out there on YouTube. If you've not watched Horrifying Hunger versus Order 66 in that 7 Valley Street fight, one of the absolute damnedest matches I have ever called. It was a happening.
What match?
We should have some doors.
Yeah.
Missed out.
Yeah, you guys hit each other with everything but the kitchen sink. And I think somebody tried to bring a kitchen sink in, it just didn't make it. But I mean, that was something where I know everybody felt that the next day. You guys tore it up. If you like hardcore wrestling done right, the street fight, the alley fight, the grudge match, practically unsanctioned kind of situation, gold, pride, all of that on the line, that's a match to watch. Am I still here? Can everybody still hear me? I can't hear anybody right now. Yeah, so here's the problem now, Al, with you having the microphone hooked in. If you don't talk into a microphone, nobody can
No,
hear
it's not that. It's not that,
Oh.
Keith. I had to mute it temporarily.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right. Let me get this to a situation where everybody can hear him. All right.
I don't know.
Can you hear? All right. I need Piranha to talk.
Hello.
Loud and clear now.
Now you're loud and clear, buddy.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear.
All right.
So what were we talking about? In my
What were we
Cody
talking about,
Rhodes
Keith?
impression.
Well, I know we were talking about you and Suicide Meyers and
Horrifying
your big
Hunger.
match against the Horrifying Hunger, your big match against Order 66. And we know you guys are going to be in action. There's a number one contenders match on that show, but you guys will also be in action come the 20th. And obviously, we know we've got the specter of the masked assailant in the SWO right now. And if I recall correctly, you guys walked out of the meeting. You didn't feel safe under Zach Carlucci.
You and Myers walked out there. Can you answer your actions?
Yeah. I looked at Myers and said, "Do you want to stay?" He said, "Nothing," and we just walked away. It was fine. We're not worrying about the mask assailant as much as everyone else. I mean, my partner wears a mask.
I mean, that's interesting. We certainly hope to get some updates, but I mean, you guys are the SWO Tag Team Champions right now, so I get it. Your focus is
what's he gonna do? Attack us both at the same time? We're always together.
Yeah, and I mean that's a suicide mission to me, no pun intended, to attack you and Myers, to attack Horrifying Hunger. I mean, I remember when you guys got screwed over by Order 66 when they turned.
I was a little frightened his first appearance because I was just in a one-on-one brutal match for the Jeff Becker Memorial Tournament. And all of a sudden the lights are going out when I'm about to show some respect to my man Zach Belmont.
Yeah.
So I pulled a Jey Uso. Next thing you know, Zach Belmont's being attacked. Becky Slater's being attacked. Everyone's being attacked. Even Kimberly Spirit. So, I mean,
you pulled a Jey Uso before Jey Uso did it.
Literally, yeah. I mean, it's not that we feel safe or don't feel safe. We're just we're aware of it, and we're worrying about our championship at this time. We're not gonna dip into that.
I mean, as you should, because we've seen Order 66 now turn back to the dark side. They have fully gone back to, that anything goes mentality that have made them the most decorated SWO tag team in history, frankly. I don't want to downplay what you and
Oh, they're
Myers
a
are
great
doing.
tag
with
team for
Horrifying
sure.
Hunger.
They put us to the test every time we're in there with them, but I mean, they had their time. We got ours, and we're not ready to give them championships up to them or anybody.
I know that. I mean, I was at the commentary table that first match before the street fight where Order 66 had turned, and I mean, you were in a different zone. You looked at me in a way that you've never looked at me before. I mean, Suicide Myers, frankly, I thought he was going to jump the table and come after me. You know, the level of anger and whatnot that was going there. I mean, you guys are in a zone right now. You really are.
We're two kind of guys. We're the same. We're hungry and we're not really angry until you piss us off, and then it's a whole seeing red moment for us. This is going to be a long lasting tag team and a long reign behind us. Mark my words. Now for Horrifying Hunger.
Yeah, now for the fans that may not understand that, you know, because I think to some fans, they probably look at this as Horrifying Hunger seemed to have come out of nowhere. You won the tag team titles at the Reynolds Rumble in that 4-way. You've been successfully defending them ever since. And I think there might be fans that go, wait, why did Prince Piranha and Suicide Myers team up and create Horrifying Hunger? Can you talk a little bit about what the genesis of that team is?
The genesis of that team is two competitors that got in the ring in the past so many times for the Uprising Championship. We know exactly what the other one is thinking. And we definitely believe in each other, because I beat him for the Uprising Championship after he retained it against me about 2-3 times until I finally got it. He even gave me a fist pound on his way out. That was just like so much respect. That in the future, we're like, there's not much for us in SWO, but we can tag together, get the tag team gold, and then eventually make ourselves the best tag team in SWO history. It was just kind of like our brains clicked. It was just kind of random, but we knew it was real.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding, like I say. I mean, that I've called, I can't even tell you how many matches, and that's just in the last 2 years that I've been privileged to be a play-by-play commentator. And you guys, that street fight last month is up there as, I think, one of the greatest matches that I have had the privilege to call, because we knew what Order 66 could do. And you talk about a proving ground, and you talk about the proof in the pudding, and backing up everything you're saying here tonight with physicality and with results. And that match absolutely backed that up with the physicality and the results. Anybody who thinks Horrifying Hunger is a flash in the pan, or it's a team that is not real, or a team that's going to break up, you know, if those tag team titles are lost, I can tell you, having sat in that perch, seeing what those guys did and seeing what those guys have been doing, I can tell you this team is for real, and this team is for keeps.
Piranha, there's a comment on the board right now from David Hilt, huge SWO fan, who says good evening, and also says can't wait for next week. So this week on the 20th, you will be defending those tag team championships with Suicide Myers against Order 66, correct?
You mean this Saturday coming?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we got an open challenge.
Oh, you have an open challenge.
Open challenge. Order 66
we got
has got to earn it.
Going. Order 66, they're going to have to get to the back of the line.
They got to get in the back of the line. Okay, so you have an open challenge.
Definitely.
Any ideas on who
I mean,
answer that? Because
it could be Order 66.
Sure.
That would be pretty annoying,
It's
but
not going to be Rose Gold
could
2.0.
be. No.
Well, we know that.
Not probably going to be Beauty and the Beast Slayer. No.
Not Beauty and the Beast Slayer.
I don't think it's going to be Greg Excellent and Tommy Vex.
Order 69.
Yeah, no, because I'm pretty sure that mask piece of, took out Tommy Vex.
He did take out Tommy Vex temporarily. Yes, he did.
That
So
is what my sources
right
are saying. Tommy may not be healed in time.
Maybe it'll be a new, young, fresh tag team. Maybe, there's been a tag team roaming around, stopping by SWO the past couple months. Just Jay.
Yeah.
And
I have been seeing these young men from Three Legacies Wrestling, and I know them well. Yeah.
Just Jay and Al Snook. So maybe they're going to linger around. Who knows?
It could be.
Who knows? But if they step up to the challenge, those young guys got some balls, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
They're gonna have
So
their work
I guess
cut
you
out
guys
for
got to
'em.
come down to Seven Valleys, get your tickets at SWOProWrestling.org, and come down to Seven Valleys and see the Suicide Myers and Prince Piranha Horrifying Hunger Open Challenge for the tag team titles that night.
Yeah, that goes for anyone. Like, who knows?
David brought up a name called Dog Nation. You know those guys, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I know Dog Nation, and I'm like really proud of those guys.
Very
but
proud.
I think they're overseas still. So
yeah, they went overseas.
I don't think they'll be back.
I just saw a post, David. Check out Dog Nation on Facebook, and you can see that they just left for overseas. So I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, their dance card's a little full.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Dog Nation this Saturday in Seven Valleys, but you never know.
You never know.
Last time I saw Dog Nation, we won the tag team championships.
Correct.
That you did.
That was our first time being in the ring with them, and they showed us respect.
Yeah,
at the end.
They did. They were part of that four-way, and they showed you some respect for winning it at the end there. Yeah.
But yeah, they're a great tag team, and when they come back, I'm sure they might step back in the SWO and challenge us.
I'd say the sky's the limit for those guys. What they're doing, they're performing all over the world now. It's not just the country; it's the world. And,
they're doing it.
I have a strong feeling that those guys are going to be on TV. I don't know for who, but they're going to be on TV sooner than later.
For sure.
Yeah, there are guys that I feel
they're still figuring it out, but they're definitely on the right path, and I see it happen pretty soon.
Yeah,
they've a big break.
They've got it mostly put together at this point, and I'm very honored to have been a small part of that, being able to call their matches both in 3WA and in SWO as they've developed. And it certainly helped me develop as a commentator, because the Dog Nation of 3WA is very different from the Dog Nation of SWO. And that was a good exercise for me as a commentator in being able to, in one promotion, get over the idea of they're the worst thing ever, and then in the other promotion do completely a 180 and go, they're the best thing ever.
Yep, exactly. It's kind of like Drew McIntyre going back to Scotland.
Yeah.
There was nobody in the whole building who's going to boo him.
They love him.
But when he's in there with CM Punk, CM Punk chants the whole time. They don't want to see you, Drew.
We got a comment, Piranha, from a guy named Roadblock. You know him?
Roadblock, yes, I do.
So Dog Nation, one hell of a tag team.
Yes, they are.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone knows that. If you ever seen them, you just know. They got it,
man. Big things are happening for Dog Nation. I guarantee it. And I'm just going to be that guy that knew him once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been saying that to everybody I know that's a wrestling fan. Maybe doesn't pay attention to what's going on in our scene, but I've said, like,
and happy birthday, Alan Clayball. Happy birthday, Alan Clayball.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to the dog.
Top dog, Alan Clayball. Happy birthday today.
Yeah, but I've been telling everybody,
not that he's watching us,
WWE. I'm like, one day you're going to remember when I said to you the name Dog Nation, and you're going to go, wow, you were right.
I just hope wherever they go, Piranha, that like somebody doesn't try to change them because they are who they are, and like somebody doesn't come up with a weird gimmick for them or something, or you know what I mean, and they just take it because they want to succeed.
But I'm sure those guys would be able to. They'll probably still do it for the contract. The Dog Nation would be their, your indie gimmick, but you never know. If they want to change you, I'm sure those guys will. As long as it's not something completely ridiculous, I'm sure that they would go with it.
Here's a
comment. I really wonder too if those guys would even be the kind of people that if you handed them almost, I don't want to say a Red Rooster level gimmick, but I feel like those are guys that if you gave them a gimmick that on the surface would seem bad or stupid or you couldn't get it over, that they would be the sort of guys who would go, all right, we'll rise to a challenge and we'll get it over. I think of like Dusty Rhodes
exactly.
And Sapphire. If you handed them polka dots and the Sapphire, they'd be like, we'll get that over.
Recently, Piranha, we had some guests from the Bronx. We've been kind of channeling the New York scene as far as independent professional wrestling is concerned. And Brother Contreras is here. And he says, shout out to everyone in the chat, including the Around the Turnbuckle. Keep up the good work on the channel. Appreciate it. And shout out from the South Bronx, Brother BKL Contreras, a.k.a. Sports Entertainment Guy. Have you ever heard of him?
No, I don't think so, honestly.
So Brother Contreras is part of that group out there because we had some guys, and you can go back on our YouTube channel in the last month or so. We had some guys from the Bronx back to back. They have a hell of a scene out there in the Bronx for independent wrestling. And we did want to, we focus mostly on Pennsylvania because that's where we are, and the Professor's in Jersey. So we have a lot of Jersey and Pennsylvania people. But I was trying to find some people in New York, and it was actually Donnie Bambino and Nathaniel Cunningham who pointed me in the direction of some of those guys from the Bronx. Who are looking to come over here and wrestle in PA and check out this scene. So you might see some more imports from the New York area.
Yeah, and shout out to those guys.
I wrestled in the Bronx real early in my career.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I wrestled in the Bronx. Just one time.
I went champ from New York Drip.
Oh, yeah. Matt Vertigo's definitely from New York.
Matt Vertigo's definitely a New York guy.
Wrestling on Saturday, no?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure
he's got a title match.
I know he had a little nick on his leg.
Did you say
he got hurt a little bit?
Yeah, it's going to be Vertigo versus Evan Atlas. It's going to be
saying
huge.
It's Vertigo and Atlas.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Lord.
Huge title match.
Okay.
That's forces collide.
The big guys. All right.
Yeah, Haas's colliding. I mean, obviously there's an issue there. I mean, one could really argue.
Yeah, they got bad blood, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that I think Evan Atlas's attitude change of late somewhat sparked by Vertigo's attitude change. I mean, let's remember the last time those guys fought, Evan Atlas tried to show mutual respect, shake the hand, and Matt Vertigo frankly sucker punched him, beat the heck out of him, and Evan Atlas,
did he beat him up with his own chain?
Yes, he did, and I think Evan Atlas, to some degree, that's where the feeling of the fans were not appreciative, were not behind him. I think that's where a lot of the issues started for Evan Atlas. And obviously, we don't talk the way we used to talk. Evan Atlas certainly doesn't have time for the media, he feels, these days, and seems to be carrying that around the independent scene right now. But
I don't know if
I had the educated guess, I think that definitely is where the issue started. Evan Atlas has got some stuff to prove come Saturday.
What'd you say, Keith? At the end there?
I was saying, Evan Atlas certainly, I feel like, is coming in with something to prove come Saturday.
Oh yeah, but didn't Evan Atlas? No. He beat Zach Belmont bad.
He did.
Him, almost broke him in half.
Yeah, he did.
But
He
I
destroyed
think he
Zach
lost
Belmont.
to
And that's
Kimberly
the guy that
Scary.
won. I mean, that's the guy that won the Jeff Becker Memorial Tournament right there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So,
I gotta
I mean,
give
you
some
know,
Huge
yeah,
respect to
opportunity for
Belmont
him
because
come
he
Saturday
I
too.
think, I think the full-time Beast just made a statement with that match there, Piranha.
yeah, he might be on a little rampage.
All right, I got another
I'll stay out
comment
of his
from,
way.
and again, Keith, we talked to these guys, and the Fed's name is World Wrestling Extreme, WWX, and you know, he's saying, hey, WWX Academy is one of the greatest. You know, and from the back of the year, we witnessed Swerve They had Swerve Strickland come through there.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So, you know, big shout out to everything that's going on with Swerve Strickland, and these guys used to wrestle with this guy in WWX, so they're really proud of him. And
As it should
yeah,
be.
so if you want information on World Wrestling Extreme Academy, look them up on social media because that's a hell of a place to learn how to wrestle it. And Swerve Strickland is a champion. You know what I'm saying? And no doubt about that. So
We got interview
definitely. I met
openings,
him
guys. If you
when
want to get
I was
on
a
here,
teenager
let us
before I
know.
started training.
yeah. I want
He
to
was on
say
the
if
indies.
any of you guys from WWX want to go on here, we put a message out on SWO's locker room. If any of you guys watching are wrestlers and you want to come on around the turnbuckle, hopefully you don't have the technical difficulties Piranha had today. But again, we have a way to talk to him right now. He's on the phone. So, but if any of you guys from Brooklyn or WWX Academy want to come and talk to us, please give me a shout out. We have open dates the next three Sundays, guys. So help us out there by sending us a message.
Even if that doesn't work, further down the line, come on, we want to get you over. I don't want to get over.
Every
I'm
Sunday
good.
in
I'm over
April
the
is
amount
every
I
Sunday
need
in
to be.
April is
Get you over.
wide open. So I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, August. I went back. Back 6
Yeah, I was like, "Dang, we're going the whole way to next year."
No. Every Sunday in
Next year,
August
it's in the past.
is wide open. Okay. So Piranha, I gotta ask you, man. You've been doing this thing now for almost a decade, right?
Yep. This is my 10th year.
Wow.
This is your 10th. You're in your 10th year. So, reflecting back on the last decade? What are some of the mistakes you made? What are some of the things you wish you did? And what are some of the highlights of those 10 years?
Mistakes, we might need a longer time frame. I don't know. But, I mean, some mistakes I definitely made are taking unnecessary bumps or doing really unnecessary moves where I end up hurting myself, too, more than I even hurt my opponent. Like, I'll never forget one time I did a huge flip dive over the rope, and the guy, I bounced off the top of the guy's head and hit my tailbone on the guardrail. And, for a whole month, I had a bruised tailbone, and I'm just like, oh yeah. That was like the first time I was in the middle of a match and I had to tell the guy, we gotta go home right now. Like, we gotta go home.
You're lucky you didn't break
bad.
it. My God.
I was like, yeah. As soon as that happened, even the fam was just like, how's your butt? And I'm just like, not good. And we gotta go. But what was the other question you said?
The other question is, what are some of the highlights, or what are some of the things you wish you did, or you haven't had a chance to do in 10 years?
Well, highlights is like being able to wrestle with guys like Mil Mortes and Jonathan Gresham, Tony Deppen, like being able to be in there with certain guys that now you were in there with TV ready people, you know what I mean? Like those are like big highlights when you're ready,
ring announce
ready to wrestle guys like that. Yeah, that was a fun one. You were right under us when I knocked him off the apron by accident. He was standing right on you guys' side.
He landed on my table. I was at the timekeeper's table, and he landed on my table.
Oh boy!
I was there for that show. Coast on my partner now in the match.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the wooden chair. Oh man, those chairs were crazy.
Oh my god, that match was another one that was crazy.
wooden
I didn't work
chairs
that
anymore.
show. I just watched it, but
Is it sad to say that a wooden chair hurts worse than because they're a little bit heavier than a steel chair, right?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely hurts more, and you can get splinters.
It's
It's
I
terrible.
didn't even think of that.
Mhm. Never
I mean,
never
Keith was there
underestimate
too,
a
right?
splinter,
Yeah,
Right in
he
the
was
crowd,
there.
front row.
He was there in the audience that day. Yes.
I was indeed.
We started fighting right in front of him.
Yeah.
I got slammed on the outside, right in front of him.
Oh, that was crazy, man.
Yeah, it's true. He did.
And I was at the historic Hamburg Field House, which
Yeah,
no longer
this
has
is
wrestling.
probably the
No
last
longer
time I'll
event.
be able
After
to
how many
wrestle there.
decades, no longer has wrestling events.
I
Yeah.
knew that was probably going to be the last time I get to wrestle there, so I was just like,
Got to do
let's
it.
go all. Yeah.
You
And
have
we get a
to.
former Lucha Underground guy. Like, this is made. We got to go crazy tonight.
David Hill is back, and he said there was a great strap match yesterday at Valor where Wolfman kept his title beating Evan Atlas.
And I gotta ask what that's gonna
Wolfman's a
do.
champion in Valor, huh?
Yeah,
He's
he's
Prime's
what's the
champion,
name of
right?
that championship, Professor? That
Hmm?
Wolfman has. What's the name of the championship that Wolfman?
Primus.
The Primus champion.
Okay, yeah. I know they
that's a
redesigned the Primus Championship. Because
Yeah, that,
when it was a red title, now I don't think it's red.
mhm.
The
That's a
same
great
name,
thing with-
Primus Championship. Okay, Wolfman. I'm
Yeah.
going to go there and take that from him.
Oh my. You know, I was gonna talk about what that could mean in Seven Valleys because let's face it, Evan Atlas does not have more than a week to
He's gonna be
recover
angry.
from that strap match.
He's gonna be
What
pissed.
condition is he coming in? Because let's face it, Matt Vertigo didn't have to defend the title last month because we had the Masked Man come out, attack Kimberly Spirit. That match never took place.
Never
Matt
happened.
Vertigo is as rested can be. Evan Atlas is coming in now with the effects of that strap match. What does that do to the complexion of the Unlimited Championship match? But I mean, even more headline making is Prince Piranha has almost sort of thrown out a challenge. All kinds of
Valor. He kind of threw a challenge out there at Valor. Are you willing to jump over to Valor
I
one week?
owe Wolfman. He beat me for the Unlimited Championship before, so it's only right I try to take a championship from him. Yeah, it's a receipt. It's only right I try to get a championship from him. Come on. The old man.
If only there were folks that could bring this to their attention.
Oh, like David Motorman?
Wolfman is awesome. He knows it too.
David Motorman's watching right now, you know.
He also
I'm just
knows
saying, there are
that
also some guys with phones.
I'll bite his wolf ass. He knows that.
All right, man. One last question because we're running short on time, but because we took a while to get you on here, but
yeah,
we're
gonna have to reschedule this.
Yes, and we
do it all over.
This is technically your third time on here, but again, we kind of, it's been choppy. We've been having internet problems and things like that. So we got to do it a little better. And I apologize to everybody who's watching out there. This is not our normal. This is, we just had some technical difficulties all around.
And you're not getting the full
bootleg one.
Let me tell you.
We're not getting the full. Yeah, we want the full Prince Piranha experience next time, man. But that being said,
I might even have to meet up with you guys and do it.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Yeah. Absolutely, we could do it live or record it.
I've been saying for a while I would love to get an SWO pre-show going, similar to how we do for we just need folks that are willing.
Listen, we've offered an SWO pre-show for months, and none of them have gotten back to me or Keith. So that's up to them. I'm not gonna chase that down. If they want it, they can have it. I'm not gonna chase that down.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll talk to them next time I see everybody.
We are more than willing
I'll bring it up.
We are
Yeah,
more than willing to do that if Ken Andrews and company want that done.
Yeah, I want to
So
do it
be it.
because
Zach
we
Carlucci,
have
whoever.
such a unique and great
Yeah, I'm like,
team
I've
in
never seen
SWO.
anything
I
bad
want
with
that out there to the
advertising.
masses.
That's always good.
Yeah,
Right.
I want the masses to see what we're doing in Seven Valleys because
So my
I
last
really believe we're doing something special there.
So my last question to you, sir, is I know that you have the tag team championships with Myers, but where do you see Prince Piranha in 5 years?
In 5 years,
Just say where do you want to see?
hopefully either signed to one company or doing what my boys in Dog Nation are doing, traveling around.
Overseas.
Still traveling around overseas and going to every company that I can go to.
I mean, that's realistic, man. It's realistic to get you over in Japan or something, or they were over.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to wrestle in Japan. I know they hit hard out there, but I've been hit hard. It'll be fine.
Let me tell you
Hard
something, man.
myself,
Anytime
too,
that I've brought your name up to either wrestlers or fans, it is complete admiration or respect. They love your body of work, and that's half the battle.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody
it
ever
took
saw
a while.
you wrestle,
It took
man,
a while to
they
like
love you.
actually figure out how to get the crowd to what they say, feel what you're doing. But now I feel like they're with me. Like they know that I'm in here trying to tell y'all a great story every time I get in there.
And most of the time,
like my story is always, I'm not good, I'm not bad, I'm just hungry. I'm just out there trying to get this win, no matter how much I gotta do. If I gotta bite you, you know I'm going to bite you. They don't call me Piranha for no reason. You know that.
Yeah, I know that. It's certainly a great, it's again a great learning experience for me. Being able to whatever you're trying to do, help tell that story, and that's what Al and I are doing.
And that's with suicide. That'd be great, but if I gotta do it alone, because I know he got his family and his jobs and stuff, and I know what he's really, I don't have kids and stuff, so.
Yeah, we're almost always for a shoot, kind of going like, we're gonna have Myers tonight. I hope we're gonna have Myers tonight. What's Plan B if we don't have Myers tonight? But you know what? He always shows up. He always shows up and surprises us.
Yeah,
and we're all sitting there last time, like I don't know.
In October, we're finally going to take Horrifying Hunger somewhere other than SWO. We're going to end up in Harrisburg for Pro Wrestling Empire. So that's going to be something new that we do.
There you go.
Love it.
And then you both know, obviously, that August 3rd, we got the big stadium show coming up, the Red Rose Rumble in Lancaster.
Red Rose Rumble in Lancaster.
August 3rd. That's the only thing. Fans. The only bad thing about that, it's not really a bad thing, but it kind of is a bad thing for wrestling fans because it's the same night as SummerSlam, and I'm just like, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
This show is going to be
the same night as SummerSlam. I didn't think about that. August 3rd.
Yeah.
Night of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
This show is going to be amazing, and I want everybody to be there. So SummerSlam's just going to have to wait on Peacock for a night, I guess. I'm not.
Watch SummerSlam Sunday morning, man.
Exactly. That's recorded. It's so different to see the Red Rose Rumble live.
You don't have to watch SummerSlam live.
No.
You can watch it Sunday morning like the rest of us.
Yeah, just turn on.
That's what I'll be doing.
Social media.
I'm not worried about it. I'll be
just
at the Red Rose Rumble
off.
And we got a 6-man tag that night. It'll be me and one of my friends at Three Legacies Wrestling, Al De Niro. I tagged with him once against Ace Dallas and General Kiesel. We had a 2-way against them. We've been feuding with them. Then Miami's been getting in it all too. So we challenged all 3 of them at the Red Rose Rumble.
And you have a mystery partner, I believe.
Mystery partner.
We have a mystery third partner, and I wish I could tell you who it is, but he told me not to tell you who it is.
I was gonna say, any hints?
He's like, if you tell them, they might not,
Right.
you know what I mean? They might not show up.
Hmm.
The person who it is, yeah, they might not show up if they knew who it was. That's all I'm
Gotcha.
saying about it.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna let you go.
The
We
teaser.
will talk to you this Saturday in Seven Valleys.
Yeah.
And fans, if you want tickets to SWO, this Get a Clue. It's called SWO Get a Clue. This Saturday at Seven Valleys. Get your tickets at SWOProWrestling.org. You can see Piranha and Suicide Myers in an open challenge for the tag team championships, and the professor and
So
I will be there.
anybody can come get it. Your boys from the Bronx, they can come down with tag teams. They can
Yeah,
do
come
anything.
down.
Dude,
We're
I'm
not
calling
worried
to
about
go.
open challenge.
You
We'll-
keep
we'll-
running your
we'll
mouth.
tickets at the door too.
Keep running your mouth, and I'm calling the Gray Brothers.
Hey, you call
Oh yes.
the Gray Brothers, whatever color brothers they are. We'll take them on.
The Brothers
Horrifying
Gray.
Hunger's not afraid of anyone.
Salem and Damien, baby.
Oh, folks, if you can get to Seven Valleys this Saturday, we have the tickets on SWO.org. We're gonna have tickets at the door. Come on down. We're doing something special at the Fire Hall in Seven Valleys. What are you waiting
I've seen
for?
Myers
Come
moving
on
around
down.
different. He's just spry in there. He's just a whole different guy. I'm like, there's no one who's going to beat us for these titles. So that's why the open challenge is
I
on
have
the line.
faith in Horrifying Hunger, man. I'm not going to be the guy that pisses off Suicide Myers. All right.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
No.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it.
We will see you this Saturday, my man. There he is, Prince Piranha. Man, you know, love him, Professor. He's a hell of an athlete, amazing athlete.
Hell of an athlete, hell of a guy. Like I say, one of my favorite people. We always hang out after the shows. It's a good time. Little inside story I know I'm gonna pop out of him. He is the best at how kayfabe works, though, and he knows that story and he knows what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Besides, I will definitely catch up until we hook up and talk about it. Yes, absolutely, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate the guys from WX there in the Bronx for checking in.
Let's definitely
And
talk more.
we definitely want to talk to a lot more of the talent that wrestles out there, man, and get to know some of those guys. Because again, that's out of our comfort zone, and that's all we want to. We just want to keep stretching out there and reaching out to, you know, at least the tri-state area. I mean, you know, we've had a lot of PA guys.
If we sell you guys one more ticket because of this show, I'm going to consider that a success.
I agree with
Because
you 100%.
I get it. Our reach is what our reach is. So if you guys get one more ticket, one person that's on the fence says, hey, I'm going to go out there, buy a ticket, drive to your show, that's a win. Because that's what it's all about at this level is get people's eyes on this product, get more people notice. You know, we all need to help each other in this business.
Speaking of eyes on the product, Professor, please, if you are watching this program and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, it takes 2 seconds to hit that button and get those numbers up, which will raise our platform, which will raise, you know, people around you that see, you know, so-and-so, if you're on social media and so-and-so is watching something on YouTube, we really appreciate that, man. We want to get to 1,000. We're well on our way to 500, but we want to get to 1,000, you know, hopefully by the end of the year. So if, you know, that's the goal, but every little bit helps. If you're already a subscriber, share it. That takes 2 seconds and it's absolutely free. Share it out, man. Get the word out, because all we're here to do is raise this platform higher so that when you folks come on here and introduce yourselves, you know, you have a bigger audience.
Yeah,
And
I love it. I love this fucking
he
business.
talks about, you know, you talk about selling tickets. I'm happy if somebody gets booked because they were on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know?
anything. If we help anybody doing this shit, it's worth it. It's worth every penny we put into it. If we are helping somebody improve in this craft and in this business that we all love so damn much.
We love it. Okay, man. So next week we'll be back here at 6 o'clock. I do not have a guest for next week, so if you are interested, please reach out to me. I'm sure I will find one. If I haven't found one throughout the week, I'm going to find one on Saturday in SWO. I'm going to confront them straight to the. We'll find somebody. We'll have somebody here.
No one wants
each and every Sunday, guys, 6 p.m. live. We want to have a pro wrestler here to chat with you. Our apologies to those who wanted to see Prince Piranha's beautiful face, beautiful, handsome face. He had some technical difficulties, but we did get him in here on a phone call, and I really appreciate him coming. If anyone who dares hit that subscribe to the channel, or if not, I'm coming to your home. Also, shout out to these guys as first time. You never know. Yes. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support, my man.
Yeah.
And Professor, we're going to get out of here, and we're going to see everybody next week on Around the Turnbuckle. Until then, we'll see you in Seven Valleys on Saturday.
Be there. Great card.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you smile!
Calculations are correct.